So you want to go to Eberron. Perhaps you've taken a look at Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron and wish to explore. Longtime Dungeons and Dragons players may remember the first mention of Eberron all the way back in 3.5 edition, or at least it feels like way back at this point. Apart from a few updates and releases to adjust the setting to 4th and 5th edition, there has been very little progression of Eberron canon ever since. That all changed when Wizards of the Coast released an official Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron PDF online. There have been a plethora of mixed reviews ever since, some players believing the choice of Eberron to be very random and unexpected. Other groups cherished the world of Eberron and were excited by the announcement of this long-awaited expansion. No one seemed more excited than staff members and players who closely follow Wizards of the Coast, though. One announcement, however, stood out more than others, and that was an Instagram post from Satine Phoenix. Satine shares an Instagram post congratulating a man named Keith. Her sincere happiness for the creator practically jumps off the page. So, who is Keith, and why is Eberron so special to him specifically? For any player wanting to have a better understanding of Eberron, or for a dungeon master in the process of world building, we suggest starting from the very beginning. The deep, lurid, diverse worlds and interactive campaigns set in Dungeons and Dragons are carefully sculpted by a strong creative team in Wizards of the Coast. To build relationships within the community and to drive outreach, Wizards is known to host submission-based contests. Wizards ran a popular submission-based contest in 2002, searching for a campaign setting with the promise to publish the winner. Longtime fan Keith Baker submitted a very cool, eye-catching world called Eberron, which you may have heard of by now. Keith won against 11,000 other submissions. At this point in his life, Keith was already working as a freelance writer for Atlas Games. With game designer experience already in his back pocket, he was granted the unique opportunity to work directly with Wizards of the Coast to create the Eberron setting. In 2004, Keith and his team won the Origins Award for Best Role-Playing Game Supplement for their work on the Eberron setting. Keith still works as a freelancer for Wizards of the Coast and has become a bit of a celebrity within the community. Thankfully, he has continued his career in game design, and to quote the man himself, "The Wayfinder's Guide is written for both players and DMs. It doesn't give away any of the deep secrets of the world, but it's designed to serve as an inspiration for both creating characters and adventures. And I'll just say that there's a lot of ideas squeezed into those 170 pages." Now, Wizards is going back to Eberron with Keith on staff, and his story has gone full circle. This event is special because he first wrote for the company through this submission. Eberron was in a very real sense a passion project. D&D is a beautifully immersive game that allows for such creative storytelling to take place. As a DM, it may be easier to research and immerse yourself in world building if you know there's a rich world in the making for however many years it's been going on now. Any DM can relate to the feeling of pride from building a fantastic world, and the exciting feeling of going back. Keith's original submission of Eberron was a dark fantasy world with creative pop culture themes. Keith describes the world as a Lord of the Rings meets Indiana Jones with a side of Maltese Falcon. In comparison to other fantasy worlds where magic is a rarity or is misunderstood, Eberron displays a society that has embraced daily magic to run and progress a city. For example, the major cities in Corvair are all connected by a magical train called the Lightning Rail. Funnily enough, this magical train doesn't run off any rail at all. The Lightning Rail is powered by a line of magical conductor stones. The train produces a fierce crackle of electricity when it passes over those conductor stones. That's pretty damn cool. As progressive as this new world may seem, you will soon find out that Eberron is plagued by a previous war. At the beginning of the campaign, your players are welcomed on their journey with a dim start. All characters start with some form of financial debt to display the struggle everyone is facing to slowly rebuild. The city itself is still rebuilding from the war, and the aftermath weighs heavily on everyone. Be mindful on new and interactive ways to help your players set the scene. Also, it's fun to get into the theme of a new campaign by setting the mood. Take time to assess your real-life environment so your campaign group can easily transition into the world of Eberron. I suggest leaning into a lightning theme since the train system is a popular selling point among players. While their characters are exploring the city, press play on YouTube playlists to replicate the sound of the train in the background. A trick I do quite often for a lot of things, actually. To add to the electric arcane aesthetic, try sticking to the blue and yellow colored theme throughout the campaign. If you have players who frequently forget their dice, have blue and yellow dice ready to hand out. Whatever you do to bring this environment to life, remember that Eberron was plagued by a previous war, and don't let your environment get too visually bright or cheerful. On a final note, just remember to have fun on all of your adventures. In honor of Keith and his accomplishments, we encourage you to just keep in mind that the essence and value of D&D comes from being at the table together with friends and partaking in an interactive story. We're keeping an eye on Eberron, so tell us all about your experiences down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this very quick video. I really appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe because we put out new content like this every week. My name's Patrick Ferguson from Skull Splitter Dice, and until next time, farewell.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss out.